Hey guys, welcome to my Ocean One and then some channel. Haven't done any videos in a while over the ocean. You know, Fisker pretty much just fell apart there as far as the company is concerned. But this review doesn't have a whole lot to do about that. Of course, I will have to mention that. But this is about the ocean. How do I feel about the ocean? How do I like the ocean? Now that I've had the ocean over 1 year, I actually got the ocean on November the 2nd. And I have now like 20,500 miles, somewhere in there. So let's just go over the ocean and talk about what I like and dislike and how it's held up after 1 year. So after 1 year of living with the ocean, what do I think? I can remember when I first got it, I was so happy, really loved this machine, and you know, that still remains the same. I still enjoy this machine very much. It's powerful, I mean super powerful. It's fast, it's smooth, it's got great features, and the looks of it are just stunning. I get nothing but compliments on it everywhere I go, and people just, you know, they ask me all kinds of questions about it. They asked me where they could get one, if I would recommend it. And, you know, before Fisker went bankrupt, I would always say, you know, well, you know, that's for you to decide, but I really enjoy the vehicle. And so this review is just going to walk you through what I think are the positives and the negatives of ownership after 20,500 some odd miles. And I'm not going to hit just positives and negatives in one segment. I'm just going to talk about them as they come up. Now, one negative that I've noticed is I've never rotated my tires. And if you can notice this here, you can see how there's barely any grooves here at all. This right front tire, the right front passenger tire, has worn the outer edge like that. And I have purchased 2 tires. And I actually have those in the garage, and I'm actually going to put those on today. These are the tires that I purchased. I'm actually just going to put these on the front. And I purchased, let's see, what are these? These are Continental Cross Contact LX20s. I went with these, just picked them up on eBay. I paid $225 for both of these tires, and that should get me by for quite a while. Now, part of this is an anomaly to the oceans. Seems like a lot of these, the tires wear out on the right front, but, you know, I also didn't rotate them. I've just about stopped rotating tires, and I just move them, you know. I just replace them 2 at a time. So you can see that this tire is pretty well worn. Basically has no tread around through there. And then if you go to the back, you know, we're still talking 7/32 on this tire. These tires have held up very well. That tire is the same, very even wear. And this tire has some wear and a little chew around the edges that you can see here, a little chew there. But this tire has worn pretty evenly, all things considered. And so, you know, that's just part of the ownership. Maybe they'll figure out what's causing that to wear a little faster on the right front. But had I rotated the tires, that probably wouldn't have been an issue. So, what are my favorite features of the ocean after 20,000 miles and 1 year of ownership? The power, man. I love the power of this vehicle. Passing is just effortless. I mean, effortless. And, you know, a lot of people say, oh, that's an EV, you know. Yeah, most EVs do accelerate pretty well, but this thing is just an absolute beast. And the other things that I really enjoy about the ocean are just the looks, the uniqueness of it. Really enjoy California mode, and I really enjoy driving, you know, with the windows down and enjoying that part of the ocean. It's just been a fantastic machine as far as, you know, that type of ownership for the vehicle. So, you know, as we go around this, I'm going to unlock the vehicle here. And, you know, you got this little light sequence, and it does that. And if you go over here, now if it was dark, you would be seeing, you know, the little puddle lights here. All of those features are just make the driving, you know, it's just such an inviting vehicle. You never get tired of getting in this vehicle and enjoying it on a daily basis. And it drives super smooth. You know, I have a Mazda CX-9 here. I have a Jeep Liberty over there. You know, that's a 2012. I think this one's a 2022. And this thing just puts the Mazda to shame, you know, as far as handling, power, smoothness, quietness. It's like going into a time warp, you know, when you jump into anything else. And, you know, it's not dark, but, you know, you can still see the opening sequence here and the Fisker lights light up. And it's just a fantastic vehicle. And open the sunroof there. And that sunroof is just massively large. Yeah, I mean, look what a hole up there. And it's just great to drive around with that. And of course, that's a real solar panel, but I'm like the world's worst for the solar panel because it's always parked in the garage. I'm almost always parked in the shade. And then I'm going to walk back here very quickly. And I'm not going to pause the video or anything. I'm just going to show you this because the solar panel on the Ocean is not something that, you know, I really worry about, because if you look back here, you know, I have that behind my house. So, you know, I'm always driving on sunshine, if you will. So it's not like I try to park the Ocean in the sun, you know, and really take advantage of that. So that's another great feature. So I went ahead and opened the doors. Now, I have not cleaned this vehicle up. This is me. This is my daily life in the vehicle. And it's just such an inviting car. I mean, it's really elegant. I think elegant is probably the best word to use for the Ocean. You know, you open it up and you're welcome to power. Yeah, it's just great. Back seat's got plenty of room. Kids have never complained. You know, they got their own air vents back here. It does have limo mode, and this screen will light up, and it's digital, but it doesn't work most of the time because I have to reset it. And when I reset it, I have to come back here and I have to take all this out, which ain't hard to do. You just take this out, you unplug it, you plug it back up, and then it will generally work for 3 to 4 weeks, and then it'll go right back off. It's just been one of those quirks with the Ocean. You know, it should have been one of those things that was easily solved, and it just never was because Fisker went bankrupt. Now, more recently here, just a couple days ago actually, I had the dreaded actuator fail. You know, the air vents. I'm going to start it up here. It's not clicking right now. I wonder what I could do. I'd probably have to reset it to get it to click where I turned it on and backed it out. Another thing that I really like about the Ocean is the range. I mean, look at the range on this thing. It's charged at 90% and it's showing 324 miles. That's more range than a lot of vehicles get, you know, charged to 100%. It's just, the range on this thing is just absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm going to reset this and see if I can get the clicking for you on the air vents. Went ahead and held this in and that in for 20 seconds. And so it's resetting itself now. And while it's doing that, I'm just going to talk a little bit. You've got your digital rear view camera here. Very sweet feature, very nice. You've got your controls up here. Something that is very aggravating though is like these back lights. They have a mind of their own. They just come on when they want to, and you can press these buttons and you can turn them off, and they'll come right back on when they want to. It's yeah, they do whatever they want to do. Kids are always telling me, hey Daddy, turn the lights off, Daddy, turn the lights off. And you know, you've got all these features up here with the cameras. These are very cool features. You got the split view, you know, and these are fairly common in cars anymore. One of the neater features of this, you know, is you can, let me go to, let's see, which one is it? Go there, yeah. And you can, you know, you can spin around the vehicle and look around, you know, and that's a pretty cool feature. A lot of things about this that I like. One thing that I do not like about the infotainment system is the radio. Now, I can't demonstrate it. The radio has probably the weakest signal of any car that I've ever had. My little Jeep Liberty over there, the Mazda CX-9, they can pick up radio stations and hold them with zero issues. And the Ocean cannot. It cannot hold a radio station unless you're just super close to it without static and stuff. So, you know, if you're streaming your music, that's not an issue. If you are not streaming your music, then, you know, that definitely is an issue, especially in a rural area like I am, where you don't have a lot of radio stations to begin with. Now, another minor drawback is you can see I have a dash cam over there. I can remember Henrik telling us back in the day, you know, that the Ocean would be able to record, but that wasn't a priority. And, you know, that's never going to happen in the Ocean now. Let me hit California mode here for you. Open everything up. So, you know, California is still one of its best features by far. I really like that. You know, not only do you get a sunroof, which a lot of EVs don't offer. Well, the back window didn't roll down. Huh. It should have. Probably needs a soft reset. See if I can get the back window to open. Well, we had to manually do it, but we got it down. Sometimes it does that though. You'll need to do a deep sleep or something on the car to get that to function properly. Like just a couple weeks ago, I was pressing California mode, and these windows were not going down, but everything else was going down. So you just put it in a deep sleep, and that fixes it. You know, you can see it's a great looking machine. Now, I'm going to go over some what I think are the really good pros and the really good cons. The pros are just the looks, uniqueness, power, range. The car, it's just fantastic. It's got a good stance. You know, everywhere you go, people ask you, hey, what's that? You know, I like that. That's really cool. And those are always fun conversations, but then, you know, you always have to go full circle and tell them, you know, hey, Fisker went bankrupt. So that brings us to, even though most Ocean owners really, really enjoy the Ocean, that brings us to the list of cons. And the cons are plentiful since Fisker went bankrupt. You know, there's no parts, there's no service, there's no warranty. In the FOA, the Fisker Owners Association, you know, they're trying to do the best that they can. And that may or may or not play out, you know. That's just going to have to see how that plays out. But I live in Kentucky, so, you know, that really puts me in an odd box to be in, because I don't know how many are in Kentucky. 1, 2, 5, maybe, somewhere in that neighborhood. Couldn't be many. And the support here for them is pretty much zero. You know, pretty much support for Fisker anywhere is pretty much zero. So the features that we were really looking for as owners just never came to be. You know, we still don't have adaptive cruise. You know, 1 year later, still don't have adaptive cruise. And so even though most Fisker owners have had, I'm going to say, pleasant, good experiences out of their Ocean, you know, one thought comes to mind. Fisker called this the world's most emotional vehicle. And I think Henrik, if he nailed one thing and nailed one thing right, this is absolutely the world's most emotional vehicle, because, you know, we were so excited about the vehicle. We were all looking forward to getting it. We were all looking forward to the updates, and the updates just, they never came. Now, it is more solid than when I originally got it. I've gone through several updates. They've all been slow, but they've all gotten there eventually. I'm still running on 2.1. Some are running on 2.2. You've probably seen those videos and people have done those, but I'm still running on 2.1. 2.0 is really the minimum that the Ocean should have been delivered with. You know, looking back, it's easy to look back now and say 2.0 is the minimum software version that the Ocean should have been delivered with. But it wasn't. And, you know, through a lot of things, and, you know, I could pin it down to just a handful, but I would sum it up with just simply mismanagement. Mismanagement at the top levels. I think the Ocean is a fine vehicle. I think management just missed the mark, man. Just missed the mark. This should have been a standout vehicle in so many ways. But the ADAS systems are never going to be fully active. You know, we have no warranty now. We have no support, no parts, no service. You know, you name it. And, you know, we may eventually get there with the FOA. But, you know, at this point, being just brutally honest, even though I really enjoy the Ocean, you know, I am part of the Bergen-Hagens, what would you call it, lawsuit, I guess you would say, with the holder rule. And, you know, I may not have this Ocean in 4 or 5 or 6 months. It's just going to have to see how that plays out. And I really like it. I would really love to keep it. If I knew I could keep this and have virtually no problems for the next, you know, 7 or 8 years, nothing that I couldn't solve, I would happily keep it. But, you know, here we are, most of us. I'm speaking in general terms, because we are all in the same situation to a large degree. The Ocean basically has no value. You try to trade it in, you know, which I haven't. Nobody wants it. I did do a hypothetical with CarMax just to see, okay, just to see. And I filled that out, and they sent me back an offer for $13,500, you know, and I gave, you know, 70 grand plus tax, license, delivery, you know, for this vehicle just a year ago. So it really puts consumers in a very odd box to be in. So let's go here and see how many miles I actually have on the Ocean. Let's go to trips. Okay, so I have 20,591 miles in a year. I mean, remember, I got this November the 2nd, and I don't know what it is today. I guess it's the 5th. Yeah, so I have really driven this vehicle a lot. Go to Solar Sky. Go to Lifetime, and I've added 282.5 miles, which isn't a lot, but again, I'm the worst for this, because I'm always parked in the garage. Even at work, I'm usually parked in the shade, so I'm the world's worst for this. Now, I've been told that we recently lost the navigation. I didn't use the navigation hardly at all. I just used Google. Depending on what happens with the FOA, you know, we may lose our cellular signal, things like that. Now, I don't have any here because I live in a very rural area, so, you know, I wouldn't have any signal here anyway, but I'm talking, you know, just being out. We never got any type of voice controls. We never got automatic, you know, dimming lights. This, you know, just so many features that were supposed to be here that just, you know, never came to be. And of course, you know, we got the rotating screen, and I'm not going to rotate that because I got my phone holder here. That's where I have that, and that's in the way. I'd have to take that off. Most of you are very familiar with the features of the Ocean. You know, I'm just talking. I really wish this vehicle had survived. Survived in the way it should have survived, okay? You know, you got your wireless charging here. It's just such a great vehicle. Yeah. Wonder what I need to do to get the clicking going on over there. I'm gonna try to figure out how to do that and come back and let you listen to that. So you can see here, I'm getting ready to put the 2 tires in there, and plenty of room. So let's put the 2 tires in there. And there we go. 2 22-inch tires, so you can see quite a bit of room back there. All right, let's see if we can get the vents clicking for you. There we go. Hear that? And it'll do that 6 or 8 or 10 times, and then it will stop. You know, it's fairly annoying when you get in it. It's one of those things that really should have been super minor to fix, but, you know, no parts, no service, no warranty. Alright guys, so what are my thoughts on the Ocean after 1 year and over 20,000 miles? Is it the world's most emotional vehicle? Absolutely, 100%. You know, if Henrik got anything right, that would be it. This is clearly the world's most emotional vehicle. What I would do is I would encourage everyone, went ahead and started it here. I would encourage everyone to look at this through what I would consider to be, let me turn everything off here, what I would consider to be the proper lens. This didn't play out like anybody expected. The Ocean owners like myself, the Ocean investors like myself, you know, expected this company to do good things, if not great things. We expected the Ocean to be, you know, a competitive player, a standout in the field of EV Oceans, and it still is in so many ways. If you just look at the power, you look at the range, you look at the features, the Ocean is fantastic. The problem at the end of the day, though, was simply management. Even though Magna and Henrik and all those that are involved built what I consider to be a fantastic vehicle, at the end of the day, it let everybody down. It let Magna down, it let the Fisker employees down, it let the part suppliers down, it let the investors down, and it let the consumers down. And, you know, here we are with what should have been a great machine, and it is, but with no parts, no service, no warranty. So where does that leave us as consumers? It leaves us with a vehicle that we really enjoy, for the most part. You know, those that had problems, I get that. You know, you probably hate the Ocean upside down, sideways. But for most of us, it's been a pretty reliable vehicle, all things considered. It was just such a letdown in the grand scheme of things because it didn't play out like we expected. You know, I expected to drive this car 6, 7, 8 years, trade it in on another Fisker, possibly get it in Alaska. You know, things like that. Things that I think most people did. But at the end of the day, management simply let us down, and I would have loved for someone to have continued the brand. Right now, you know, really, it's pretty much the FOA as far as, you know, just keeping these Oceans going. But no more are going to be built, and that's really sad because Fisker had such a great lineup, such a good vision. Henrik and Gita they just let everybody down. I mean, that's, you know, that's life, and we just need to recover from it. So is this the world's most emotional vehicle? Affirmative, 100%. You know, from excitement to euphoria to disappointment to letdown to, you know, just enjoying the ride. It is what it is. And this was not meant to be any type of comprehensive review, you know, where you go through every little nook and cranny. No, not at all. This was just more of a way to let you guys know my experiences with the Ocean over the last year, and they've been good. You know, if I could call Fisker and get a service call now and get the vents fixed, know that I had warranty support, I would be a very, very happy camper. But instead, I'm waiting on the Hagen Bermans, you know, to go through with Chase and see if I get some sort of buyout, buyback, you know, loan forgiveness, You know, however that works, however that plays out, we'll just have to see. But, you know, that's pretty much where I am. And I really hate to see the ocean go. But living in Kentucky, I feel like that's the best option if that's what plays out for me. Now, if that does not play out, what will I do? Well, I'll keep the ocean, drive the daylights out of it, and hope for the best, which was my original plan. But I feel for everybody out there, because I know I'm in a similar situation, and many of us are in the same situation. And, you know, it's life, guys. We just have to make the best of it and move right along and, you know, enjoy the important things. Is the ocean really that important at the end of the day? No. My wife, my kids, my health, you know, all those things that we should cherish and really enjoy are the important things. Car is just a car. I use this car to work in it. I drive it. I enjoy it. But at the end of the day, it's just a car. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining in. And until next time.